Hey, welcome back to the Scorpio channel. My name is Laura. I'm going to do a general message for Scorpio. Know that energy is fluid. Roles can be reversed. Always interpret the message as it best resonates with you. If you're new to my channel, know I like to go deep within my reading. So I like to look at everything. We look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, and see how they play out as karmic themes within your experience along with everything else. So if you want to enter into winning a free reading with me, please keep in mind that part of your reading is going to be a shadow reading. Also, you'll need to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and write the word of the video in your comment bar. You'll know if I chose you, if I wrote the word winner underneath your comment. If I did, you'll reach out to me through my email, which you'll find in the description box, along with all other important information, such as my other YouTube channels, my website, all good stuff like that. And like I said, you'll have to write the word of the video. The word of the video is always the underlining energy that tells me why everyone's doing what they're doing. That's important to know when we're looking at shadows. So let's jump right on in this morning. I hope everyone's having a good day so far today. Actually, we're in the early afternoon. You know, we're past 12 here in Florida. But I'm really still from New York. My mind's still up in New York. I'll always be a New Yorker. And we don't roll over until 11:30 up in New York because New York City never sleeps, you know? However, in Florida, everyone gets up at the crack of dawn, you know? All right, let's see. Disappointment. Okay, Scorpio, I feel like you're really disappointed. You're disappointed in this person that I feel like you have a deep spiritual connection with. And sometimes you can still feel them, but in actuality, I feel like you're not feeling them even more now. Like they're completely trying not to let you feel them. Like you guys have a very strong ESP connection through the heart and mind, which is what soulmate connections are. But I feel like this person is like drinking themselves, that they're trying to keep themselves busy. They're trying not to think about you anymore because they're over it. They're the part of this person that is so frustrated because they know that they did you wrong and they're holding back. And they've held back for a really long time. And they're almost like trying to scare you, like thinking that, hoping that you think that they don't care anymore. The problem is that they tap into you from time to time and they don't feel you at all. So they actually think that you don't care anymore, which is why they're acting like they don't care anymore. But down deep inside, you're like disappointed with this person because you're like, really? You want to play this one-up game with me? Like during time that you could actually be taking to get to know me, to build a relationship with me. Like, I feel like this person fought you every twist and turn, every way possible not to give you what you asked for. And I don't even think that you asked for anything. I think that you asked for friendship. I think that you asked for to build a relationship with this person, not even a romantic relationship, just a rapport. And this person again fought it every chance that they got. And so they don't come towards you because they don't want to again hear the criticism, because they know that the reason why you're not friends with them is because of everything that they did. They acted arrogant. They acted like they didn't give a shit the whole entire time. And they played games and they toyed with you and they expected you to be upset. And I think the main reason why you don't want to even talk to this person at this point is because you're like, you knew what you were doing and you didn't care how that made me feel, but then you claim to care about me and someone's that's supposed to care about me. So again, what you're left with is disappointment, because what you see is that this person's really imbalanced, and this person really is really imbalanced right now, because I feel like they're trying not to feel their emotions, but they can't help but to, again, feel their emotions, because no one can cut themselves off from their feelings forever. This person can only suppress their emotions for as long as they drink. The problem is, as soon as they stop drinking, they start thinking about you. As soon as they stop working, they start thinking about you. So this person has to actually completely be on overdrive all the time to not think about you. And that's, again, creating a lot of irritability within inside this person because they're not balanced. They're not balanced, number one, because they know that they didn't treat you right. So there's guilt there. Number two, because they suppress their emotions. Number three, because they need a lot of healing. This is a way that they've learned how to deal with situations. And it's mainly because of their pride. They know that you feel abandoned by them. And they also know that they caused a lot of grief because of their selfishness and disrespect. But what you're seeing now, Scorpio, is like, I feel like you felt this person for a little while and then you don't feel this person, then you feel this person, then you don't feel. But what you're seeing is that they are pretending to be happy. They are pretending that they don't care. That is lies and illusion. And it's mainly because they can't really come back from this, that they neglected you. But now I feel like because they neglected you, because of the guilt, they're self-neglecting themselves now, right? Not taking care of themselves. So this is the underlying energy of what happened. And there was really no reason why they did this. I just feel like they didn't want to be in a relationship. I also feel like this person has a really hard time, like with their emotions, like a really hard time, where there's someone that chooses to be in the logical, analytical mind. I feel like there's someone that has not had good relationships because they tend to navigate their life from this. They are very, the underlying energy for them really is that they are disassociated, where they have trauma, they know that they have trauma, but they don't exactly know the details of what created that trauma. And so I feel like it plays out within their relationships. So the issue now is also because this person held back and they're acting like they don't care, and they're, again, becoming more and more imbalanced by the day, because it's not just the relationship with you, they actually have a relationship, a heart connection with you that they can't break, that they can't get away from, that they can't shut off. But I feel like it's bringing up a lot of other, experiences that this person has had within their relationships. And the more that they're not trying not to think about you, the more that they see that the time is going and that you're disconnecting from them. And it's getting harder and harder and harder for this person to fake the funk. They're becoming impatient. The problem is that they have rolled on to a lot of shame. And so they don't want to seem vulnerable. They don't want to have to pick up the phone and call you up and tell you how they feel. Again, in their perfect world, you would come back to them. It's, again, they tried to do a scare tactic on you where they froze you out, acted like, they didn't care, hoping that you would come back. Because, again, I feel like they've dated people that have done that before. That's a tactic that, when a person's low vibe and they don't want to emotionally invest and they don't want to invest any other way, that's what they tend to do. And they will attract somebody that doesn't know their worth. Thing is, this person misjudged you because you do know your worth. However, it's like this person is seen and wants to be seen as perfect, right? I think that they see you kind of as if you're perfect. So you trigger them, and you trigger them because they're looking at your life and they're looking at the way that you dealt with them, and it's making them look at their life. And again, it's making them feel even more insecure, which is why they don't really even want to come back and apologize. This person lives a lot up in their head. This person lives a lot, from their traumas. They're always reacting, always trying to get a reaction, it seems like. Yeah, it's again, and then what they do is they act as if, I feel like it's not so much the display of affection that they have towards their former partner. I feel like this person gives time to everyone else. And that's what it's triggering to you. They deliberately give time. So it's not so much like the display of affection that they give towards like their former partner. I feel like, yes, there is might be someone from their past that they're cordial to, but they were an asshole to that person when they were with that person. It's the random people that this person actually shows, like, I don't even want to say affection, but the kindness. Like they go out of their way. They make that person, these strangers, feel important. They make these that like they'll go out. Like it's almost like very narcissistic energy where I want to be with you, but I'm going to treat you like shit. And I'm going to treat all these random people that I don't really know who they are. They could be people on social media. They could be people that I met through my business. They could be people that, again, are acquaintances. I'm going to display like that I'm a really caring person, that I'm a nice person, that I'll go high and above. But to you, I'm not going to give you anything. So that's how I take that. I feel like that, and if there was a past lover, it's this person hid behind that person. So it's not so much again that they were showing affection, it's that the priority was always that person, the ex. And part of that is because of guilt. It's like I was a piece of shit when I was with, you. So now I'm going to go out of my way to be nice to you now that we're not together because I have to deal with you, but also because I'm going to make it look like I am a nice person. I'm going to make it make it look like you're the problem. I'm not nice to you because you're the problem. I can even get along with my ex. It's you that has the problem. So it's again this manipulation to like kind of put you in isolation to make you feel isolated. And on a weak person, they become subservient and they begin to give more. It's a way of suppression, it's a way of oppression, it's a way of control without this person lifting a finger. It's your own mind. So this is this person. Again, dry spell. And then what happened is like obviously it creates trust issues where this person is all about the physicality of a relationship, right? They're all about that. And I feel like you're someone that needs to connect emotionally first. So this person tried to do a lot of things to manipulate that normally work to break down a person's self-esteem, where then the person just gives in to what they want. And then they're able to use that person for what they want and then dispose them without ever really building an emotional connection. The problem here is that what I see is that this person actually built an emotional connection to you, had one again, or just had one. Again, a spiritual connection is like we just have one. It's like not even like they put in any effort or I put in any effort. And it's that we have one. And the thing is, this person was like, well, then for sure you're going to give me what I want. And that's not what happened. So this person normally likes to come in sexually to build that connection, to build that full sense of intimacy, full sense of trust, and to get what they want. And like you said, without building an emotional connection, here this person has an emotional connection and didn't get anything. So to them, it's kind of like mind fucking them. And they're like, I need that within a relationship. No, they need to control the relationship and they need to control it through their body. That's the issue. Because it's like if I'm with you and I'm with you sexually and we have like this hot passion, then you're going to connect to me and always want that. And I'll still be able to do what I want to do. I'll have more control over you. which is what I feel. So I feel like the more time that goes by, the more disappointed you are because you're seeing this with this person. You're like, wow, it's like we really like I thought we had like a connection here. I thought that you were a real person. I really gave you a lot of credit, a lot more credit than you deserve, because you just are like are a user. You just go from to people to get what you want, and you do it by emotionally fucking with their mind, making them feel not good enough, like trying to break down their self-esteem and make them feel not important, where they elevate themselves. And I feel like that this is why your person's also disappointed, because the more time that goes by, the more time that they try not to think about you, the more difficult it is. And then they're also looking and seeing how they treated you, clear. And I feel like part of the way that they acted, they act like this to people. So they just didn't treat you any different than how they treat people. And they didn't honor the connection. I don't think that this person ever had a connection like this. And then when they felt this connection, it scared the shit out of them. They were like, I don't want this type of connection. However, I'll connect to you sexually and I'll be able to control the relationship. And that's not what happened here. And that's why you're like disappointed. You're disappointed because you're again seeing, wow, this is how you navigated the relationship with me. That you didn't give me anything. The whole time it was all about you trying to get what you wanted and never apologizing, never treating me like a human being, never treating me like anything. And the whole time you're upset because I'm not screwing you. It's like, and like you're doing this to get to the end to the means almost. And the ends to the means so that you can control me to take whatever else that you want, because you don't really know what you want with this relationship, it seems like. So this person, like I said, was very imbalanced to begin with. People don't just become, imbalanced. It's that they are imbalanced because of the way that they think. It's the way that they do. And someone that's very selfish, that's disassociated, they don't even know what they feel. So of course, whatever they're feeling, they're living more from their addictions, what they feel. And it's mainly the driving force is abandonment and shame. But we also saw a lot of other, we also saw a lot of other energies in here, because what comes with shame is guilt and also grief. But I feel like this person was trying to give you grief. So they were also projecting how they feel onto you. Again, trying to make you feel like you don't belong, when really I feel like the people that feel that they belong, they don't have the need to make other people feel like they don't belong. So they, again, projected a lot of their wounding onto you. So instead of them embracing a connection like this, it was almost like they revolted against it. It was like they were like, I'm going to control you, but I'm going to control you and not treat you well either, which is really like kind of narcissistic sociopath energy. And I hate to say it, but it's like, again, I just feel nothing but this real like negative energy and resentment happens when like we've been in fear for so long and living from fear, that every experience that I feel like this person creates always turns to shit. And it turns to shit because they're selfish. They only do things from the lowest consciousness. So again, feeling an energy like unconditional love, which is what you feel when you meet a soulmate of any, of any standard, whether it's a past life soulmate, karmic mate. You don't know that they're a karmic mate until like you're in the relationship with them, and then they screw you over. Like this person would be a past life karmic mate. You just didn't receive the karmic retribution, which is why this person's annoyed. It's almost like they're getting more and more and more impatient but they're also getting more and more and more annoyed because they're losing control. So, there's always this unconditional love, which is a high vibration. And does again, this person does is like it's almost like someone that's possessed by the devil and throwing holy water on them. Imagine The Exorcist. Remember that girl that the Pope came or the priest came and prayed over and threw the holy water, and then said, like, you heard sizzle, 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 and she was screaming and her head went around. Well, that's kind of like the energy that's happening here. Like, this person's angry, like you stirred up their demons, you stirred up their anger. They don't have control. They just can't believe that you're getting away. They just can't believe that, they're faced to look at they're faced to look at what they did, because they still have the feeling of that connection that they don't want to have. So again, it's like where being with this person meant that you were lonely. This person's lonely, to be honest with you. They're lonely, but they're used to being a lone wolf. They believe that that's the way it needs to be in their life. Now, it doesn't mean that they can't pretend to have friends. They can have frenemies and they can have acquaintances, but when I'm talking about friends, I'm talking about those deep, real connections that, is all about trust. Intimacy is what trust is at its core level. And that's when you can be vulnerable in front of the person. I feel like this person doesn't allow anyone to be vulnerable because they were never allowed to be vulnerable. So they're very lonely and they want you to be lonely. It's like they want you, like you triggered them because you make them feel. And this person doesn't want to do the healing. That's what it comes down to again. And what they'll do, instead of even having a conversation or it always winds up in an argument. And I feel like sometimes in order for you to like even understand what this person's thinking or why they're doing it or like you would start an argument with them just to be like, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. It's like, because you claim that you have feelings for me. I know you have feelings for me, but the way you treat me is shitty. It's all this underlining energy of wanting to control me and make me feel bad for no apparent reason, but then you claim that you care, and mainly because I didn't allow you to manipulate me, because I didn't allow you to ruin my life, because I didn't allow you because I wasn't subservient to you. Like, that's not love. It's like, and that's why this person is sitting there, like, and they're in a place where they're uncomfortable. And I feel like that's why they're maybe, disappointed, because it's like they thought that their little plan was going to backfire, was going to hurt you. Instead, it backfired on them, where they're the ones still sitting with that feeling, because you can't destroy love and unconditional love. You can't do it. It's like you can't control it, you can't manipulate it, you can't destroy it. This person tried to do all three. It's like, and they're still holding the energy, but instead of them embracing it, they're getting more and more and more angry, because again, it means that they have to look at their wounds. It means that they have to change. And people that have wounds, they create behaviorisms, and those behaviorisms, they tend to hide behind as, like, again, safety. So this person is not someone that's going to be emotionally intelligent. They don't feel comfortable expressing themselves. They don't want to feel, because they don't really believe that it can happen. So in order to be with in this relationship, it's like, I feel like you would have to argue with them all the time, and they would understand that language almost as a way, as like, oh, see, look how passionate you are about me. But it's like, again, creates major intimacy issues where You're like, I don't want to fight with you in order to make up with you. Like, this is how this person like navigates. Like, they don't, because it's all about control. It's all about somehow making you subservient, about oppressing you, making you smaller so that they feel comfortable. And then they don't really even want to be in a connection. They're just selfish. They would like to use you for what they could use you for. So there's nothing really good that comes from this one-sided relationship. So you have to ask, like, again, I always like to see, tell us what this person's going to do before we see why you attracted this person into your life. Is there any other information? And we're going to pull 3 and 3. So again, power. Again, this person is all about the power, which we know, right? Domination right there, says it, first card out. So this person, again, does not know, believes that that is what love is, and has no problem, like, again, being forceful about it, where manipulative, meaning like the one up you game that I feel like they like to do, like, oh, you're ignoring me, so I'm going to do this to hurt you. Okay, so I see you like you're still having a good time. Then they go on your social media, they stalk, they think that every single meme or post that you post, every single picture that you post, everything has something related to them, which again they're reading into. So they're like, oh, you're having a good time, your life is good. Okay, well, let me do something to try and piss you off. It doesn't piss you off because you're not feeding into this. You're not, but it's again, they expected you to do it. So the reason why this little game has gone on for so long is because they really thought that you were going to do it. And by the fact that you didn't, again, it forces them to have to look at themselves, have to change, and it's making them feel really uncomfortable, really uncomfortable. Again, where here it is, it's like, you're like, I feel like you're in, like, I don't want to say that you're waiting but like you found relief. Okay, you took time out to, like, there was part of you that detached from this. I also feel like this person feels like they're in limbo. I feel like this person also feels like this is like a time out, that this is that we're pausing things. It's like, again, where like a lot of times soulmates do that. They're together, they're not together, they're together, they're not together, because understand this person is coming into your life from a spiritual perspective to awaken things. Every soulmate, every single person that comes into our life comes in to awaken things that we need to learn. And so during those time apart is usually where we do a lot of self-actualization. And I feel like you did do that. And what you see is that this person wants everything their way, that they want to dominate things, that you would not be happy with this person. And what this person thinks is, well, it's just like time out. We're in limbo, but we're resting. But they just think that they can come back in because, again, that ESP connection, they still have the connection to you, even though they try to do everything to destroy it. What they don't realize is they still have that unconditional love for you because you didn't do anything to them. However, I feel like during this time off, again, this last break, that they took this to the extreme and ignored you and made it like they had a fun life without you and that they didn't need you, all to scare you, to control you, because they assumed that you were of a low vibration and that you were just going to fall for that. I feel like there's a part of you that's like, no, I don't want to be with this person. Again, the realization is I don't like the way that you are. I actually am able to see everything that you do and then some. And when I was in the connection with you, I didn't see any of it, or I saw part of it. But you had me so fucked up in my mind, again, with all the games that you play, which this person put a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of effort into gaslighting, controlling, manipulating to try to suppress you, oppress you, to control you, but then also not give you anything. So it's like because of their anger, because of their issues, that you're like, you saw all that. And what you see is, it's like, again, that you want to move on, that you're going to take a new direction. It's like, because this person's really inflexible, they don't want to change. Like, you're just going to move forward. It's like you're moving forward. And this is what this person feels as the time goes further and further apart. There's this realization, the self-realization that, the way that they treated you, the way that, why would you be in their life? So it's, again, they see that. And the thing is, even though I see that they did this and they created this, I also know that they see it, and I also don't really feel like they know what to do about it. I wouldn't be surprised if I pulled other cards that, again, told me something else. Because, again, this person is not acting from like that place of love. They're acting from their wound. I'm only gonna pull one. I feel like I don't deserve your love. I'm worried you'll leave me when you see who I really am. So the reason why this person never really gave to you is because they knew that you were on a higher vibration. They could tell the way that you lived your life. They could tell that you were a good person. They just didn't think that you knew your own worth. They also felt like, because of the spiritual connection, and again, that there was a lot of passion, chemistry, this person doesn't feel like that part of your life is fulfilled. So I feel like, took a chance thinking, well, I'll be with you as long as it would be on my terms. Um, because you are a good catch. But what they see is like, they misjudged you. I'm afraid this relationship, it would be too good, and they'd pull away. Again, which is that, what it comes down to, again, is that this person pulls away every single time. Every single time. I feel like I don't deserve. And again, I pull away because of fear. It's like, because, again, they have to heal. And so what it is they can't control the way that they feel with you. But because they need so much healing, instead of them embracing it, they just get triggered all over the place and create a lot of blocks. And I feel like during this last break, that this person, you had said, I can't do this anymore. I'm moving on. I need to take a new direction. And so we asked Spirit, what should we end off with? Because, if this person comes around, what they're just going to do is do more of the same, is what this is saying. And it's because they haven't done the healing. So I feel like, if you don't feel this person around you, they're probably trying to avoid you with all costs, because it's not that they don't have feelings. They just don't want to have those feelings. So Spirit tells us, again, courage. I am stronger than fear and bigger than doubt. I am light and I remain light. I trust in God and stand tall before the rest of life. I grow and become wiser through every challenge. I am being of new life. So I feel like this is actually for both of you. This person needs to get some courage. They need to get courage by healing themselves, because they're not, it's not like they're going to be able to stay away from being in a relationship. It's that they'll always be in shitty relationships because they'll always try to control it. And they try to control it because they're fearful. So the focus really is on fear, and they can never really control what they want. So they just continue to create more of the same. They need to have the courage to change. And I feel like, for you, we have to ask why you attracted this person, because if courage is in here, just put this over to the side and we're going to see why you attracted this person. I almost forgot that part. Okay. mainly because I wanted to see what you were gonna do or what they were gonna do. You know what I mean? It's like I just wanted to like, what's happening? You know, is it just gonna stay like this forever? And what it is like, no, because you detach. Otherwise, yes, it would. So you're a magnet of whom what comes into your life. So when we attract a person like this into our life that doesn't, plays all these games and doesn't give us anything, tries to make us feel bad, we have to say, why? You know? And the first one is vulnerability. These are inner child cards, by the way, and we look at the inner child wounds to see, again, why did I attract a person like this, whether they're good or bad? We always want to know. That one just jumped out. Inner authority, and look, that's almost like needed to be there. So as you can see, sometimes your inner child wounds are not all wounds. Sometimes they are gifts and teach us about ourselves. And dance, I'm actually going to pull two more. I'm being called to self-sabotage. Oh no, that's self-love, and play. Well, I'm actually feeling like, I feel like you grew up in an environment that didn't really allow you to be vulnerable. And that's again, to feel safe, is to be able to be vulnerable, to be able to be transparent. You weren't able to. And so what happened because of that, you grew up in this strict environment or a place that you just didn't feel supported. You grew very strong inner authority, which means your intuition, your internal knowing became strong. Because again, if you're in an environment that you don't feel like you can be fully safe, you are going to become very intuitive. You are going to be on guard. That's how it, your right brain, your psychic mind gets trained, but not through school, but gets trained through what happened, but through your environment. So if you live in an environment where you don't feel safe, you're going to be accessing different parts of your brain to pick up, intuitive advice. So I feel like you're someone that has very strong intuition. You also, because you didn't, there was a sense of like not being able to go out and play and find yourself fully. But I feel like during the separation with this person, you did do that because you listened to yourself. And it was mainly because you couldn't be vulnerable. And that's where you found your rhythm. Your rhythm. Again, dance is to be able to go with the flow, right? To be able to go with the flow of life. And that's through our unique individuality. And that's through the whole creating ourselves. And we do that through the act of playing. Again, through investing our time in things that we like, things that we're passionate about, things that intrigue us, things that grow us. So I feel like you put your mind there, which also allowed you to really move on, because you're like, you're not giving me anything, and I'm seeing exactly clear as day how you treated me, because I'm not close up to the picture at all. I'm actually able to really do self-reflection during this time that you stayed away from me, thinking that you were gonna do a one-up you or do the scare tactic to the point that I was gonna run back. You took so much time. I had time to do the self-reflection, and what I saw is that I need to move on, because it's, again, I love myself. I love myself. And I feel like you learned that hard lesson of self-love at a very young age. Now, I say that because when children are loved and feel supported by their parents, it's easy for them to know how to love themselves. But if a child doesn't feel safe to the point that they have to be on guard and listen to their intuition and really have to listen to their internal knowing, well, that self-love is something that have to be taught. So you're probably someone that in past relationships overgave, overdid, and so the universe brought you this person as a test. And the test was, do you love yourself? Are you going to give what this person has, even though they have feelings for you, but they're treating you like shit? It's again kicking up a lot of those wounds. Or are you going to have the courage to move forward and experience life the way that you choose to live it and not replay the same karmic programs that, put you in a place where you couldn't feel safe? Again, you had to live that way when you were born into a family, that had their own spiritual blockages that didn't allow you to be vulnerable. But you don't have to choose the same thing for yourself now. It's about self-love and, again, listening to yourself and being guided through the things which you love to do, through playing. Again, no expectation, no ownership, just going out and playing, doing the things that we love, letting our higher self guide us. Then we're going to pull people towards us that we can be vulnerable. Again, and we're vulnerable because we're supported. We're supported through the things that we're doing, the people that we're connected to through the things that we're doing. And that's how we meet our tribe. That's what helps us become whole. That's what opens up our third eye because we're actually grounded. We're, again, doing what we love. That's that second chakra, being able to go with the flow of life, finding our dance, right? Finding our rhythm, finding our unique purpose, and again, being led by the gut intuition, giving and receiving of love. And that's how you do it. And then being in alignment where it's all about, again, the self-love. And that's how you get there. And that's a tough lesson. But at the end, you passed your karmic test. I'm going to leave that there, Scorpio. I hope you resonated. And if you did, let me know. Talk to you soon. Bye.